Welcome to the One More Thing Tech Podcast. I'm Quasi, and we had a little chat before the podcast. And I just this has to be said. I want to tell you a story about a tracking situation.
Tracking situation?
And I know this has happened to people on Earth. But let me just tell you the
Not sure
story.
what you're talking about.
Okay, let me dive into it. So I shipped something from an order, right?
That kind
Not
of track.
me.
I was very
Yeah.
confused on what kind of tracking you were talking about.
Yeah.
It started to make sense.
So the kind of tracking when you place an order somewhere and they ship something to you,
Yeah.
So it's ordered, right? I get an email saying it's being shipped. Here's your tracking number. And this is where it gets interesting. It just seems like to me that tracking systems as a whole needs to get better because there's too much anarchy in tracking. Here's a story I will tell you. I shipped some body soap, right? Because I couldn't get it anywhere locally, which is ridiculous, but it's okay. So it's being shipped from the manufacturer of this product. That shouldn't matter, but it does in this case. It's using a certain carrier that I'll tell you at the very end what it is. Here's the journey that it takes. It leaves, right? It's on its way. Day one of tracking. They say it's on the way. Depart from facility of whatever, right? I think it was in Arizona, I believe. And it says, the very top of the tracking page, arriving Friday. Okay, that's what's anticipated to arrive. It makes sense, right? It's got a journey, has to get there. I get that. So this is ordered on a Saturday. So Monday, I get the initial tracking to say it's been shipped, right? Tuesday, I get that it's been departed. It's on its way. So Wednesday, I get a notification that it arrived in New Jersey, and then
Well,
later
that's
that
where I
day
used to
it
live.
left New
Well,
Jersey,
that's
right?
technically where I still live, but
This is
yeah,
where it
that's
gets
pretty cool.
interesting. So we both know the state that I'm in. It says that it's going to be there today when it's in New Jersey on Wednesday.
Mm.
Now we both know the journey from New Jersey to
Expedited
Illinois
shipping?
is not a day's journey.
It's less than a day's journey,
It's
actually.
not. No, it's standard shipping.
Oh,
Okay,
well,
but like
if you
for
were
a
to drive,
tracking
it's 8
network,
hours.
no
Yeah.
way. Yeah, but there's just no way it's going to get there the same day if it leaves at 2:30 in the 4 a.m. in the morning. It's just not going to do that.
Well,
So
here,
I did not
I
think it was
guess
going to
not on
happen.
standard shipping. Yeah. Unless they decided to just upgrade you and put you on like a plane from Newark straight to O'Hare.
Has never happened and will never happen.
Yeah, it probably won't.
So you have hope at this point that there might be a chance for some odd reason that might come before it's supposed to. I'm not anticipating it, but I'm like, it'd be great. Doesn't come Wednesday, right? Then Thursday comes, right? It
Right.
says it arrived in Chicago. Okay, cool. That's the same city, the state I'm in, right? And then it says on Thursday evening that it's preparing to depart from Chicago, right? So it took them a day to process this. Whatever. Lots of stuff going on.
Crazy work.
So Friday morning comes. And I get a notification that it's depart from Chicago at like 2:18 a.m. That's a good time frame. There's still a chance, right? It has to come to my local facility, get sorted, and then be brought to me.
Something like that.
And this is where the tracking just becomes a treacherous process. It's left Chicago, right? But that's all I get for Friday. Nothing else, right?
Mm.
So now we know it's not coming when the anticipation really was happening. And then Saturday, Sunday, no traction whatsoever. Now Monday comes. This is the day, business day after it's supposed to be there. You think, okay, it's in Chicago, it's got to be here on Monday. No. It's left Chicago on Friday, but for some reason during the weekend's festivities, it does not leave Chicago. It comes back to Chicago.
Was there
Then
something going on this
Tuesday,
weekend?
I just had no clue at all. There had to have been some party in Chicago that disrupted the shipping process. Maybe the driver took a stop to join this festivity, or get a lot of hot dogs to throw at bystanders. I don't know, Quasi. I'm really trying to figure this out. This is all I can come up with in my head. But for some reason, it does not come. It comes back to Chicago, leaves Chicago, and then guess what? Finally arrives that day. My question is this. It seems that unless the carrier GPS, which has issues at times, I get that, but way less of them. The the routing system, the tracking networks of every other carrier is abysmal. Like it's awful.
That's exactly what I was about to ask. I was about to ask who it is. It was FedEx. Hmm.
To my location, it goes from Chicago to Memphis, Tennessee, and then from Memphis, Tennessee to Arizona, from Arizona back to Chicago, which it came from to begin with, and then goes to sorting facility, and then back to me. How is that efficient?
Well, you see, it's just not.
No. And
But
I've
you didn't pay for
actually
expedited shipping, and
got
that's why.
the official reason for this very issue. It took a lot of asking and the right people. And let me explain to the viewers and to everybody why this happens with the USPS. You're not going to like it, but it's the exact reason. It's from them. It's certified, put a stamp on it, right? The reason is this. If you think for a second that your package is isolated in a way that it goes from its source of shipment to your location in like one swoop, it doesn't. What they do is this. Let's say, example, your package is going from Arizona to Chicago, and that's where you're going to be at, right? They wait until they palletize an entire amount of boxes and layers and whatnot that's going to be in one pallet that goes to this location. So if that pallet is not a full pallet or a half pallet or whatever, they will not ship it until that pallet is full. So that's why you'll see it go from Arizona to Memphis to Scottsdale and everything all over the place. So it gets packages all over the locations to fill this one pallet to go to the nearest sorting facility, which is going to be in Chicago in this case, right, or Champaign or whatever, right? So they do that and they wait until that pallet's full. But here's the issue with that. Now you spent $42,000 more in fuel and personnel and everything else to get it to me, which is probably why it costs more for shipping now than it ever did. So that is, well, kind of makes sense. It doesn't really. It's like a toddler saying, I will not eat this bowl of cereal until you make it so full where I can't even walk to the table without spilling the milk. You know? It doesn't make any sense to me at all. I
Do
think there's
unpack now.
inefficiencies in shipping as a whole, and it needs to stop. You know? But
Alrighty.
have a bill that's getting mailed to you come to you. That will get there in 22.5 minutes from California to, like, Maine. But if it's something you really want or it's time sensitive, it just has no urgency at all, and that is the problem we have. It could be better, you know? A goose could walk it over, not fly, walk it over faster sometimes in USPS, or any carrier, really.
Are geese slow?
If they're walking,
I mean, I guess.
they're not like, you've not seen a goose, like,
Wait, I almost ran over geese yesterday.
me too, not just the other day. It had the audacity, it waited for traffic like a standard
Mm-hmm.
goose should do. And then, when I'm going past, now I'm gonna cross. I can't wait any longer. I must get to pond, and then try to cross, I almost hit the goose. I had to swerve to miss it. And you don't wanna hit a goose because they're chunky little birds, let me tell you.
I just didn't want to
And
hit it because of its babies. All of its
there's
little
that
babies are
too.
following it,
But,
and I
like,
was like,
I don't
yeah.
wanna hit a goose and mess up my whole entire, bumper now because a goose is chunky thing. If you ever hit a goose in the windshield, I have. That's not fun.
Did
If
your
you weren't
windshield make
awake,
it?
that wakes you up. You
Was
have
your
any thoughts
windshield
on this,
cracked?
Gracie, about shipping in general? Because I want it to be better.
Yeah, I mean, I just the only time I've shipped something as of recent was earlier this year, or actually it was last year, last October-ish. I
Well,
went
or you receiving a package, not even you shipping something.
well, I shipped it with US, no, I shipped it with UPS. It was my brother's passport because somehow I picked it up and went through TSA with it. Probably shouldn't have admitted that part. But I had both of our passports, so I sent him back his because he was going to Canada that weekend. So it got there
Well,
pretty
and that
quick, I
probably
will
got
say.
well, that's UPS. They're really
Yeah.
good.
So I
Trust
don't have
UPS.
any real issues. I wish I will say if I'm getting a package delivered from my bank, like the other day I was getting a new card delivered because I had lost my old one. I wish instead of waiting 12 years, right, I could go to UPS and just say, hey, when this gets here, can you give me a call so I can come pick it up at my earliest convenience? Because where I pick up my mail normally closes at what, 4? I don't want to do that. That's annoying. I have to
Or
take off work to come pick up my mail.
why can't a bank just print the card at the facility? Something do
My
that, really.
bank is nowhere close to here. So just,
Okay. Some banks do that, and that's what a great
yeah,
idea,
that was where I got my first debit card. They handed it to me in the bank, and it had like raised numbering. Oh, it was pristine. I haven't had a raised numbering card since that one.
Those are
Yeah,
good.
my letters were all
Those are really
raised.
good days. Man,
Yeah, now I
price of
have a
gas was more
basic.
affordable back then.
It most definitely, Adam. First and foremost, I think I need to comment on this. Oh my God, I was on my way to McDonald's earlier this morning, right? And all of a sudden, I see my gas tank. It's got the little light on. I'm like, oh no, how can this be? I filled up the gas 2 days ago, right? I haven't driven that much, right? I've been around the block, but I haven't been anywhere for real, right? My Benz usually, well, I shouldn't mention that I drive a Benz, but it usually sips gas. It's not like eating the gas, right? So I go and fill I put $40 in it, right? That gets me up to half a tank. Here's the thing, Adam. By the time I got home, mind you, the McDonald's is 2.6 miles away from my house. I usually get 27 miles per gallon in this car. By the time I got home, I had already like my tank was at halfway full when I refilled it. I was in the quarter between halfway and a quarter tank. So I'm not entirely sure what's going on here with the gas.
Was there
Um,
potentially a person siphoning your gas while you were waiting for your McDonald's that you didn't know about?
no, I was actually extremely paranoid and was looking all around the car. So I'm not entirely sure what's going on with this California gas, but it's gonna have to stop. All right. Governor Newsom, I'm gonna need you to lock in. Big DJT in the White House, I'm gonna need you to lock in. All right, everybody involved, I'm gonna need you guys to lock in and get these gas prices down. Because first off, back in New Jersey, back when I first started driving this car, right, I could have filled my entire tank for $30, and I was paying for premium, right? Nowadays, I'm nickeling and diming to get half a tank. Are we serious? Lock in.
Yeah,
All right.
it's a thing.
Completely untech related, but it was just so important that I got that off my chest.
One last story here, Quasi. It's a quick one. I gotta say it because it was an interesting thing that happened to me this weekend.
Yeah, please go ahead.
So I'm at Indiana Beach, which is a great place to go if you haven't been.
Oh, I've been.
And there is the bumper cars, which I'm sure you're aware of, kind of in the middle of the park. And I'm going, and this is a kind of park where when you pay to get in, you like basically don't pay for anything else besides food, like one other like bungee jump ride thing kind of. That's about all you pay for, right? So you could like go bumper car as much as you want to all day, every day if you really want to. All I have to say is I'm going in a line. Now I'm not going in a speed that's unnecessary, or I wasn't racing anybody. I was just going in line, right? It's one of those like airport, like you have to go like this, get in line, right? So I'm
Yep.
going, and there's just like little punk of a 13-year-old kid, right? And I
Wow.
say punk, and you'll understand why in a minute. I did not race him to get to this line, but he felt the need to like pull a grade school like a little kid and just cut in line for no reason. Went underneath the barricades and like got in front of me. But not only did he do that, he looked at me and did like the Simpsons, ha ha. He did that exact laugh too. Like I got here before you did.
Interesting. And you didn't like pick him up and body slam him? Uh.
That's not good move. He doesn't realize what's about to happen to him, So much like I do any other time bumper cars, the kids, the parents with the kids, mom and daughter, whatever. I target them because you know what? It's the only legal road rage you can have. You don't get in trouble, right? They know what they're getting into, or they should. If they don't, they're about to find out, right? So I'm targeting this kid because he is not just there being a little punk. He is like laughing and like running at people with like a vengeance, like it was he's Batman and the killers of his parents or whatever, or in this little bumper cars, right? That's what he's doing. He's laughing people that like with like an evil ha laugh, right? He's doing all this stuff. I had to stop it. So I hit him as much as I possibly can. I bump him in the wall, and he's like, "She's laughing." He's having a great time, so I don't really feel bad. But there's this one hit. It was so perfect. I cannot recreate. You could say, "Am, here's $10 million. Do this again." I cannot do this. There's a moment where I did a pit maneuver like the cops do, right? He's about to turn a corner. I go to the back of him, and I hit the back so he spins out, right?
Right.
So I usually do this. I do that, and I smack him one more time when they come back around. So it's like a well, bam, at him again. But I didn't have to do that because this other guy did that for me. And he had like the faster bumper car, right? So I did the pit maneuver. As he was turning with no awareness of what's going on around him, he gets hit from the front again. So it's a spin hit from him. So he's coming back to me and I smack him again. And he just like his body's going and he looks like Tweety bird with little birds at the top. It's like, I don't know what's going on. I'm not sure where I'm at. Like he experienced justice when he knew he did wrong to begin with. He antagonized me and must have antagonized this other person. His person had the face like, I'm after you. You are dead. That's the face he had for this kid. I didn't have that, but it worked out in my favor. So all I gotta say is this. If you're going to antagonize somebody, maybe don't do it in the line of bumper cars because you will be targeted.
This is true.
And I don't feel bad. Do I feel bad? I don't care. The kid's 13. I'm a lot older than him. I don't care. He's there to have fun. I'm going to have fun now for sure. And you know what? He learned something. Life lesson achieved. So I get it. He's there to have fun. He's a little punk. I get this. At the same time, he's got to learn his lessons. I didn't like cause bodily harm to this kid. I didn't like punch him when we left. I didn't do none of that.
You should have.
I had no desire because I knew I could get away with smacking him around bumper cars and not get in trouble. Now, if I body slammed him, there might have been the cops called. And you don't want the Indiana Beach police after you. You just don't want that. I've seen that before. No, they just because they have shorts on, Quasi, does not mean they're forceful, right? They come.
mean, I get it. I don't want
You
any
don't want
police
that.
after me. I don't.
Let's just say there's certain parts of the water park that are closed. That's all I'll say. You know, they toss people over into the beach, and that's the last you hear of them. Let's just say that maybe some mobsters go there to dispose of things. I'm just joking. It's just a complete joke. Anyway, more of the story is, if you're gonna antagonize somebody, do not do it in bumper car line. Okay, come on now. That's like doing that in a paintball arena. You're gonna go in there and antagonize somebody that's like really good, and you get popped in the head a couple of times. That's all I'm saying.
All right. Well, in tech news this week, did you know that well, actually, the first thing on our show notes is actually talking about excuse me, I have to sneeze. Give me 1 second.
Bless you, I think.
Wow, I almost missed the mute button. I was about to destroy everybody's eardrums.
Like, post will change it though.
Yeah. So yeah, Major League Soccer, guys. First and foremost, the FIFA World Cup is definitely coming up in like what,
Yeah.
less than a month? Isn't it this month? Doesn't FIFA start this month? Like the 28th? I think the group stage starts on July 4th. I'm not sure.
I'm not 100% sure, but I thought this article mentions that they were doing something on May 23rd.
Oh, well, on May 23rd, Major League Soccer, which is, the premier sports or the premier soccer league in the United States of America, it's sports history by broadcasting the game between the Houston Dynamos and the Los Angeles Galaxy using footage exclusively shot from iPhones. Right? So you might say, Quasi, from iPhones? You mean to tell me that game I watched was shot on iPhone? Yeah, actually. So there were some production teams that deployed 15 iPhone 17 Pro Maxes around the field. They were all recording at 1080p, 60 frames per second, right? 8 of the iPhones used their native lenses, which allowed them to be placed in more kind of tight and risky spots where, the traditional big, bulky cameras that you see every time you watch the sportscast won't fit. Like behind the goals or behind the other team's benches. You can't put the massive ones there, but you can definitely put an iPhone there. And basically, all the phones were hooked up to a USB-C to HDMI cable. That went to a converter, and then that converter set fiber cables to this thing called a mobile broadcast trailer. I'm trying to break this down really for you guys,
Can we
but I don't know
show
if I'm doing a great job.
Can we show them some of this? Now, there are definitely shots, Quasi, where it was far more than just the iPhone, like doing the whole everything. So Quasi is 100% correct. There are shots like near the goal and certain other multi-angle shots where it was like the iPhone with very little things besides like some stands and stuff, right? So like this, great example, right? But if you scroll down, there's an old dude, Quasi. There's a goal shot. Right here. That is still shot on iPhone. Okay? Now, if you go to the next picture, Quasi, it gives you a very much more clear situation. So you see it in there. It's in there, right? So one thing I want to make sure everybody understands is the processing is still going through the iPhone, but there's definitely some extra things happening here, if you can believe it. So one thing I know is Brian Tong did a whole entire like behind the scenes of this kind of stuff besides CNET here. I guess he works for CNET or did or something like that. So one thing I found out with this is this rig right here that you see was $25,000 to make it all happen. So it's amazing that you can still utilize the iPhone's everything with some enhancements, as you can see here, and do this.
This is more than enhancements. enhancements is what the barber sprays on you after you're done. This is full facial reconstruction surgery, right? They've got a massive lens attached to the iPhone here. Don't get me wrong, guys. It's still shot on iPhone, right? The iPhone
Yeah.
is doing all of the digital processing. But that lens that they're using is not on your iPhone. So don't expect to get, and if you look at the cord here, they're using 8K ultra high definition cables. You are
Which is
not getting this quality, right? Yeah, your phone can record at 4K. You're not doing it. Please
why are
don't
they
be upset.
I wonder why they limit it to 1080p 60 frames.
Well, they were broadcasting the game, right? And I don't think people broadcast what
Do you not know that the NFL broadcasts in 4K?
resolution does the NFL broadcast in
They do 1080p as well. But they
1080p?
definitely do 4K.
But
Yeah, they do 4K as well.
are offered in 4K, but they're typically upscaled from a 1080p source, which is what I thought. I just didn't want to say that without being right. And
It's there are times that is the case, but there are 100%. I believe it's Fox. I think it's Fox. Fox does
actually,
native
Fox
4K.
streams in 720. I'm not even joking.
Yeah, but you can get like
It'd
a
be
DirecTV package
ESPN.
where it's 4K.
ESPN
I can
has
promise
select
you
games.
there's 4K like UHD recording. Or 4K, maybe not UHD, but 4K. That's native.
The
It's not
NFL
upscaled.
support thing.
There 100% is it every game? Not even a chance.
Hey, do you want to read the NFL support website with me for the viewers? Let me read this aloud to everybody. NFL Plus is offered up to 1080p, 30 or 60 frames per second, as best available based on your network's and device's capability. That's about it. That's all it says. What is the highest quality stream available? Adam, can you share your screen? I really want to see what you're looking at. I just think it could be interesting for everybody. I think for the benefit of the viewers. I think that's what I'm going to start saying when I really want to see something. For the benefit of the viewers.
Okay. This is Ollie Dumb. According to The Verge, and it's a video, so I really can't show us crazy. Networks use 4K cameras to capture specific shots for zooming and slow motion replays.
Right.
But the live broadcasts are
It's
1080p or 720p.
Yep.
How dare you? How dare you, NFL? You know why? That's the one time I want 4K, for sure. I don't want to see 1080p. This is not 2015 anymore.
I just don't think that it's that deep. I think the important part is, because the thing is, when you're streaming, you're using a lot of data, right? And there's a lot of packets going through. You don't want to potentially lose any quality over the internet anyway.
No.
Dude, the NBA doesn't even stream in 4K.
Okay, if it's 4K UHD, first off, that I get is chunkiness of data and everything else, 100%. But you can do 4K, and it'll just be okay, because you're not going through like a, dial-up line going to someone's house. We have gigabit network speeds, across the entire United States, where if the file for 4K, let's just say for a game, is 20 to 40 gigs, you can do this in 4K. They choose not to. Do you not think that people would enjoy having a game in 4K? Where it has better picture quality, you can see the game. Because, they're not always zoomed in on the plays. There's sometimes it's zoomed out mode so you can see both teams and like the runs or whatever, right? Well, if that's the case, I want to see a better quality.
I think the important thing is that they are literally limited by bandwidth. And then there's too many people, or like, you gotta understand, there's definitely a lot of legacy hardware out there, if you know what I mean. Like, there's definitely older TVs. There's definitely people who aren't watching it on YouTube Premium or YouTube TV, right? I don't even think YouTube TV I don't want to be wrong about this. I'll check my TV here in a minute, but I don't think YouTube TV does 4K for most things that are that are live.
Okay, so let's just unpack this for a second. If you're saying bandwidth is the issue, right? And if they're recording in 1080p and then upscaling it to 4K for the viewers to see in a live broadcast, isn't that also using a bunch of data?
No. So
Yes,
the way upscaling works is
it
first and
is.
foremost, the native if I was to record something in 1080p and then upscale it, the file size itself would be a lot smaller than if I was to record it in native 4K. Because what it's trying to do when it upscales is filling in all the tiny pixels that it thinks should be there. All right.
I know the upscaling is crazy. I know
Well,
the original
I
file
figured
is
you knew.
1080p. What I'm trying to say though is you're at some point in the feed doing the upscaling live, which is far more taxing on service and bandwidth
I don't know about it.
than it is. I know for sure when you transcode and you transcoding is a bad word here. When you're doing your upscaling in the sense of bringing a 1080p file and making it so it fits a screen, that is not easy in a low bandwidth process. Takes a lot to do that. And you're doing that live. Maybe the actual data transfer itself is not as much, but at the same time, it's taxing on servers, right? And you're doing that conversion live. It just seems like it'd be a lot better for the users to not have that upscale and just do native 4K. What I'm saying is, I don't think the infrastructure that's used, right, can not support this. As you can see here, if an iPhone records in 4K natively and they have an 8K resolution HDMI cable, they could probably do some 4K. I don't think there's a limitation of hardware here. I think it's just they don't want to do it because for some reason they're scared that it's not going to work well. How about you do some back-end testing? I bet you they could do it. I bet you it can happen.
I don't think that it's worth it because who is
It
turning
is.
on their TV and saying, you know what, the Super Bowl's on, but if it's not in 4K, I'm not watching it this year. Nobody's doing that. You're gonna sit there and watch the Super Bowl in 240p if your team's playing. If the Chicago, tell me right now, if the Chicago Bears were in the Super Bowl, that you wouldn't watch it at any quality.
I don't think I would watch it if it's under 1080p. I would omit watching
Adam,
it.
if it was 720p, I promise you'd be in your Bears jersey in the
Wait,
front row.
7?
I
Quasi.
promise you.
Quasi. That is DVD quality. No, see, so DVD is 480. That is awful. I don't know. Why is this a problem? I don't know why this is an issue. Like, test it. Do it. 4K UHD, I completely understand. That is a ridiculous amount of data transfer, right? 100 gigs for 2 hours or so. I get that. But a 4K, like 4K on a disc, just for reference point here, is about like 24 to 28 gigs, maybe 30 gigs the most. You cannot tell me that a stadium, let's just put this in perspective here, that's broadcasting this with a network, right, can't make that work when the fans of the stadium can record it in 4K and could do like a YouTube live if they wanted to in 4K from their phones.
Hey, okay, let's put it like this. Have you ever I I know maybe we should talk to some of the guys in media because like what can happen is if I'm sending through something that's 4 times larger, now I have to work on a lot of back end stuff and try to make it so that there's no delay, right? Because first and foremost, there's already if you ever watch live sports, right? I have this app called the Real app on my phone, and the app updates faster than what I'm seeing because there's already a delay in the broadcast, right? And I don't really want my broadcast to be delayed any more than it is right now. And like I'm saying, I just don't think we have the technology yet, or I don't think the technology is cheap enough yet to where any company can plausibly buy it for their broadcasts.
Let me see. Just a second here. I'm asking Gemini here. I do not want to supercharge. Okay, my question to AI, and we're going to make some more adjustments with this podcast with AI too, and we would discuss this crazy, but I asked Gemini, could the NFL backend, if they wanted to, record and broadcast in 4K for native 4K streaming and live TV broadcast? And the answer is yes, the NFL's backend could absolutely handle native 4K recording and broadcasting if they decide to do it.
Did you know that it's not
However,
the NFL that's broadcasting?
I realize that. Okay, when I say that, this is with all the networks, ABC, NBC, whatever, right? This
Okay.
as a whole, you do realize that the NFL has requirements that they have to do for broadcast, right?
Yeah, it
They can
said
choose to
however.
do a little better ones, but so they could do this.
Okay, you
So
said however.
yeah, they're just choosing not to, and that's the question.
No, no, no.
Why?
What did
Why is that the
Gemini
case?
say? You said however. Like,
It said, however, it would require a multi-billion-dollar overhaul
oh,
to the sports
oh,
broadcasting pipeline.
Lord have mercy. A
I don't.
multi-billion
Well,
dollar with Roger Goodell at the front. Oh no,
hold
you're
up,
not. It's
hold
not
up.
happening
If it said they could absolutely handle it, then I don't know what this multi-billion-dollar thing is really there for. Is
because they would have to overhaul everything. Which is why I was saying I don't think the technology is cheap enough yet at the point where it's plausible.
well, hold up. Okay, first off, so here's the very first thing: the IP-based routing. So the broadcasting trucks are usually using coax cables, 3G SDI, and
I'm
they're
sorry.
not.
Take that back. They're still using coaxial cables. They're not doing satellite.
Yeah. Well, but they have fiber at stadiums now too.
I guess
So,
fiber is faster.
uh, yeah, speed of light's pretty fast usually. So,
Typically, yeah, I would say so.
okay, so it looks like that. It looks like the current method is very outdated, just at the IP routing state, and had to massive server upgrade, so on. So I get that. Okay, what they're saying is the best way to do it would be doing a direct route right to servers, so like a AWS or whatever platforms out there, and to update their CDN. So that's not too hard to do that. So what I'm saying is people have thought about how they could do this. The NFL is a multi-trillion-dollar organization. They make a bunch of money, if you don't know that. They could do this. It's just because they're just not. And I think it's time that they do that. I think by 2027, the NFL should be recording in 4K with incredible resolution, offering still 1080p and below for those who don't care, don't have the necessary equipment to do so. I don't know why this can't be done. So it's kind of stupid. That's what I'm trying to say.
I'm just positive I didn't hear you right. Did you say by 2027
Yeah.
when you were just told it was going to be multi-billion dollars? Hey, did you know that Roger Goodell is the commissioner of the NFL?
I could guarantee you I could convince him if I talked to him.
I just don't think you
Guaranteed.
could. Roger Goodell is all about the bottom line. And that's why I hate him so much because he gave, dude.
Do you realize that a single Super Bowl that is broadcasted, the commercial revenue from that alone could pay for this? Facts. The commercials cost for the NFL games that are Super
It was only
Bowl.
$600 million
Millions.
that they made, and this said multi-billion. Now, billion has a B, which means it's at least 999,000
This is
million.
also completely estimated. The actual cost to do something like this is not known 100% yet, right? So it might be less, it might be more. But it doesn't sound like, from what they're saying here, that the recording hardware is not capable of doing it. It sounds like that what they're using for that
Well,
can do 4K, but they're
yeah,
just recording in
that's how they get their
1080p.
highlights in 4K.
Yeah.
It's
So
what
which
we're looking at right
makes
now is the
sense.
broadcast. I'm saying it's very hard to broadcast 4K with the equipment that we have today. That's the only argument I'm making.
I think you're not wrong. I'm saying if you're already partway there doing the slow motion stuff in 4K, I don't know, do the rest of it in 4K too. I don't know. I just think in today's society, if a streaming platform has 4K, which is not the best 4K, and we've had 4K for many, many decades now, why can't we have 4K in live broadcasting? You know, like the commercials sometimes have better quality than the actual production. So I think we could make this happen. I just don't know why that there's not any effort put forth to make a better viewing experience for the users, because some people have really good equipment at home and they want to have a really good experience watching the NFL. And if they saw high fidelity 4K, they would really enjoy it a lot. Maybe that's just something that I think of and no one else does. I
Well,
don't know.
if it's something
Sorry.
that you would think of and no one else does, wouldn't that make
You
it?
can't tell me that people, if they said, guys, 2027, we're going to have native 4K streams and, live broadcasting, people are going to be like, I hate it. No one's going to do it. If they do say that, send them over to another country, because that's blasphemy.
Interesting.
Yeah. Speaking of blasphemy, can I say one more story? This is a quick one too. There was a individual on Facebook that was, there was a post that, Netflix is losing their rights to Seinfeld, right? And I said, good. I'm glad, because they did nothing at all with the video to make it nice and good and wonderful. The 1080p was downscaled 720p. The 4K that they guarantee was 4K was 1080p upscale, like this right here. And it was just, I'm like, they did nothing. I can't stand what they did. Awful. Bad Netflix. This guy had the audacity to say out loud. And I'm gonna read his quote exactly, right? I just have to do this. His name is Thomas. His last name I will omit. My greatest fear, and I mean this 1000%, my greatest fear is to be locked in a room with Seinfeld playing and having no way to turn it off. 3 exclamation points. I swear to God, I would prefer to be waterboarded by insert terrorist name, group name. I don't want to get doxxed here for this. They watch Seinfeld.
That just wasn't necessary in the slightest.
So I respond to him in a way he ended the conversation. I won, Thomas. And let me say, I'm going to read what I said to him, okay? It's nothing awful. It's just facts. Thomas, I think you are a disturbed individual. How could you possibly say such blasphemy against the greatest show on earth?
Oh, that might be a little bit
There's
of
what you said, and then there's truth. Now, let me say what I told to my boss, which is a huge Seinfeld fan, by the way. Look at this individual. He has to be a terrorist or a Friends fan or both. And when I say Friends, the show Friends. What possesses a person to be that descriptive of hate towards a show that is bliss?
I'm not sure.
You may not watch Seinfeld all the time. You may think it's the greatest show ever, but you cannot, as a human being, say that Seinfeld is the worst show ever. And to want to be waterboarded instead of watching it, you are going off the deep end, sir. Thomas, if you're watching this, I don't care if you're 4 feet from me. I will say to your face, you are incorrect. You're wrong in every way. And you may not like Seinfeld, but to say that you are be waterboarded, do you know what that entails? That means when you want to breathe, you're just not going to because water's in the way. And guess what? When you want to breathe again, you might not get to. Is that really worth it more than watching a show where you can do breathing just fine? That was unnecessary, and it was completely off topic from what I was talking about. I was talking about I'm glad that it's leaving Netflix because of their awful decisions they did with the show, and you went off on a complete tangent that did nothing but make people upset. And I was not the only one upset by his comment. There was others too. There were people like that said, I just ruined my breakfast because I got so mad, and stuff like that. And Thomas did not respond. It's some troll. That's what comes out. He's just an internet troll. It's whatever, right? Yeah, you're right to your own opinion, but you were wrong, Thomas. And I'll put that to stone. He's wrong.
Okay. Well, Thomas, you heard it here first.
There's a lot of things happened this last week, Quasey. I just gotta let you know. And I just had to put that out there. And Thomas, I hope you get the help you need, maybe you need therapy if that's what you think. Maybe it should be Jerry Seinfeld that does the therapy, because you have to understand that people might like certain things that you don't. But to say something like that, which is heresy, you just don't do that. That's like me saying, hi, Thomas, how are you today? And, oh, that's your wife? Okay.
Wow. That's your wife?
You know how awful that would sound to me? If I said that out loud to you, how would that make you feel and your wife? Not so good, probably, right? But you just dissed a show that had no reason to be dissed, right? None. So think before you speak, okay, Thomas? That's all I'm saying.
All right. Well, moving
How about
on.
the next topic, Quasey? We are off topic 100% here.
Yeah,
okay.
I mean, we might have spent 10 minutes on the actual topic today. Guys, if you thought you were coming the week before WWDC to get any actual news, you're wrong, right? This is
Let's dive in.
It's gonna be rough. Anyway, did you hear that the Apple glasses are delayed?
I did. So
yeah.
Apple glasses were initially set to launch in 2027, right? And not the Vision Air VR Air headset. The actual Apple glasses, that's going to be compared to like the Meta Ray-Bans or the Oakley ones or various other ones, right? So there is a delay right now until 2029. Okay, here's what I'll say.
2029?
Yeah. Oh,
I'm
sorry.
hearing 2027.
Hold up. I read this completely wrong. They were supposed to come this year. Now I've been delayed to 2027. So a year later. Okay. Now, here's the thing about this. What's the reason for? I'm trying to look really quick. There's just no reason. There's complications. They're trying to perfect things. Now, what I will say is, for those who are wondering what they might look like, Chris is going to show you a mock-up for it right now. But it's going to be It's going to be very similar to what Tim Cook wears for his actual glasses. So that is going to be the inspiration for the glasses. And they'll probably have the same style as the Meta Ray-Bans as well.
This is from 9 to 5 Mac, by the way.
Yes, this is a complete mock-up. This is nothing finalized by any means. And those are kind of chunky, like bezels in the frames, kind of. But, it's okay. So what I'll say is this. If you're hoping to, by this year, get them, well, they're just not going to, just so you know. And now we mentioned before with the Vision Pro, that's kind of put in the back burner, and I think it still is. But the Vision Air, which is a less expensive version of the Vision Pro, is going to not come to 2028, 2029. So that's delayed as well. So because I think they're just having problems with chipsets and components and stuff like that. And it really comes down to, I think, too, is Apple's making sure that when this comes out, it's just ready to go. And maybe they're waiting for Siri to be enhanced more to make this a better experience. And maybe they're doing a bunch of other things in the background. We just don't know. I just want to know what you guys think below, if this delay is going to make you really upset. Were you hoping this year is going to be the year that you get it? And are you going to get it? Like, is this something that you're waiting for? You cannot wait for. You just had to have it now. And are you willing to do the wait? So That's just a little update with the Vision Air and the Apple glasses. They're still coming, just delayed.
All right. Moving on to the next topic. HomePod Mini. All right. We're going to be seeing a new Apple TV and HomePod Mini this fall, and also perhaps refresh the remote. Now, you might be like, okay, new HomePod Mini. What could possibly be so great about a new HomePod Mini? Well, first and foremost, it's new. All right, that's a dumb question, but it's probably gonna have the S9 chip, which right now it's running the S5 chip. If you don't know what the S9 or the S series of chips are, that's basically the watch or the chipset that they have in the Apple Watch. It runs surprisingly well, right? And for light tasks like a watch or like a smart speaker, it does the job exceptionally well. The only drawback right now of the HomePod is that it runs Siri instead of something competent. So it's really unfortunate. Am I saying buy a HomePod? No, I'm not saying that. You'll never catch me saying that until Siri actually does something with her life.
Hold up.
Anyhow,
Let's make sure people know about the HomePod in one way. If you use a HomePod to play like music or
yeah,
potentially
you
use your
tap
Apple
your
TV
phone
to
and that's
pair it,
about it.
and it plays audio, it's pretty good at doing that. But if you think for a second that you're going to ask Siri on the HomePod to do something, just expect
Pack
there's
it
going to be
up.
problems.
Pack it up.
I mean,
Don't even.
there just is. You know, I've had, which is an odd issue with HomePods, the minis and the original ones. I'm in the middle watching, let's say, a movie or a show on the Apple TV, and those are like the speakers, right?
Okay.
In the middle of the show or movie, it will just start playing songs. And not just songs, each HomePod will play a different song from different playlists on my phone.
That sounds like fun.
Imagine you sitting down with some popcorn, a drink in your chair, reclined state, you're watching something, and all of a sudden you hear like, Metallica, and then you hear 3 Special on the speakers. Mind you, the video is still playing in the background. There's issues that they need to fix. Does it happen all the time? No, but it has happened, and you're like, I don't know what to think of this. I didn't tell it to do anything. My phone was, locked and set down, so I'm watching something. I don't know. Seems weird.
Yeah,
So,
that's fun.
But anyway, but do you have a HomePod, Quasey?
No. My family uses Amazon Alexa because Alexa is actually somewhat competent at her job. We also have Ring cameras, and yeah, you're out here doing all
Just my
that.
mouth a little bit. Sorry.
Anybody who has an Alexa and has Amazon Prime and gets the Alexa Plus, you guys know what I'm talking about, right? Adam clearly doesn't. Adam probably saw the Alexa one time in 2015, and he's going off that experience. So
it's not why I don't like it. It's not at all. They don't sound terrible. The OS is not the worst. It's the privacy concerns that I have.
Well, yes, most definitely. But
that's really comes down to.
I carry around my phone all day. I carry around an iPad and a MacBook. The government already knows everything.
You don't hear Amazon saying like what Apple does about their privacy and security. They don't even say anything of the sort. They just think you should know we're listening to what you're saying.
No, they're definitely.
We know that Quasey dropped the peanut butter on Tuesday night accidentally and broke his pinky toe, but we're gonna maybe recommend to him now some pain relief medication and potentially what doctors you should go to get that fixed. You know what I'm saying? Like
that would actually really piss me off if I dropped peanut butter and somehow broke my toe. I'd be so upset.
Do you not think that a full jar of peanut butter, like not the small, the big one, if that fell on your pinky toe only, that'd break it? I think it would.
I mean, it definitely would, but like, golly,
you know what I'm saying?
I'd be so upset.
but not to fear, Quasey, because your Amazon Alexa will be listening for that very occasion and recommend things for you.
Yeah,
I'm just saying they have been known, and they don't really make it unknown that they do this, right? It's so they're always waiting for you to say, "Hey Alexa," or whatever that you say with that, right?
Yeah.
So it's that.
She's really intelligent about it because she's always listening.
But the thing is, like, when it's always listening, was it listening to besides what you want to listen to? You know, and that could go for Siri and everything else too. I'm just saying that there's been clear privacy concerns with Alexa, and that's the reason why I don't like them. Are they more functional? They work pretty good. Yeah, I don't think they work terribly. I think it's a pretty nice interface. Like I have one, but I've turned off the microphone. I only want to see if like notifications to see certain things. And because of that, you know, like mine mic's off, right? The privacy shutter for the camera is also shut. But I use it for like an alarm clock and to see like the weather and my upcoming Amazon packages and whatnot, right? So like I use it for that. But to use it for a home assistant so I can talk to it, I just don't. I don't trust it, and that's just me. I'm talking way too much this episode, Kwesi, so please feel free just to start talking over me, you know?
Okay, so
Sorry.
he's trying to tell me that his voice is starting to hurt. Anyhow, in addition to new HomePods, we'll be seeing a new Apple TV 4K, which right now is running the A15 chip. No longer, it will be running the A17 Pro, mind you, Pro, right? That's great, and that's a bit of a major bump. And then we also might be seeing that remote get refreshed, but we don't know how major of a refresh it could be. It could be maybe just changing around the layout a little bit, or it could be literally overhauling the entire remote. We don't know. The leaks aren't exactly all clear yet, but the second we get news, we'll let you guys
You'll
know.
know. I kind of
Yeah.
like the new Apple remote for the Apple TVs. I like it. I can just be sure that if it's a really hot day, I could put that remote on my forehead and cool me down 20 degrees instantly because it's always cold. And I like that.
Really? Mm.
Yeah, it's not a flaw. I'm not trying to say it's a bad thing. I love it.
No,
I think
I
it's
get that.
awesome.
You know it's not always cold, Adam? Let me just give a little quick story. It's the week before WWDC. They'll get their information next week. But here's what happened, Adam. Last week, I was dropping my parents off at the Sacramento airport, right? It's like 62 degrees. I'm kind of cold, right? I was like, dang it, I should have brought a hoodie, right? I almost went to the store and bought a hoodie that same day. Thank God I didn't, because this entire week it's been high 90s. High 90s. I'm sweating my ball sack off. I can't say that. I'm going to cut that more. But I am sweating every day. It is so hot in this state. It's so ridiculous. I
Is it
hate
high
it here.
humidity hot though?
No, it's just dry heat. And here's the even worse part. Remember the car I was just telling you I filled with gas? Guess what
Yeah.
broke earlier this week? My air
Not the
conditioning.
windows.
My air conditioning no longer works.
Oh.
So I
People
will be
will
taking my
say
mom's car everywhere.
just roll down the windows. It
No,
kind
they're
of
not
helps.
understanding. No.
That's
It
it.
might be worse. Okay, it's not worse
Why?
because obviously the air is moving, but it's when it's 90 degrees outside.
It doesn't help that much. It
There's
just like all it does is let's say you had the car in the parking lot at Jewel Osco, right? And then you were there for like 30 or 40 minutes and your car is like, you know, really like, you know, 250 degrees hot
Yeah.
inside. So you're on the windows, you're going, right? So that initial awful, like you're baking cookies heat hot is gone. But like you're still
But there's still
hot.
heat. Yeah.
Yeah, it's just blowing hot air. It doesn't like you don't really get cool off. All you know is that the back seat leather isn't melting anymore, but
Yeah.
you're still hot. You know,
I
that's what I'm
think that's
trying
the
to say.
issue. I think when I buy my own car, I will not be getting leather seats. Let me tell you
Yeah,
something.
they're
I was
hot.
wearing shorts and my
Shorts.
thigh
Yeah.
my thigh literally
It's the
singed itself.
worst.
I
It's
think
the
I have an
worst.
actual burn. Like, oh,
Yes.
it's so bad.
And you don't know until you touch it.
Yeah.
And you know what happens? You sit down on the seat and your body's reaction is to jump up and then you hit your head on top of the car.
And then don't let you accidentally brush the seatbelt. That little metal part of the seatbelt.
That little metal piece in the
Lord have
seatbelt
mercy.
buckle. If that hits your stomach or anything like that on the way there, yeah,
You will die.
You are branded from that seatbelt like they do in Yellowstone. You know, it's
dude, it's horrible.
Man, I know the pain and the suffering you were experiencing.
Yeah.
When I was a
All that
kid,
to say,
I tell you
I
what.
don't want to be here.
But see, dry heat is still far better than that heat with humidity. Imagine that.
I don't know, because when I was in Guam, it was 80 degrees and humid every day, and I feel like, yeah, I sweat a lot, but it was also like
It just
it wasn't bad
hits
unless
you.
I was running, you know?
It
But I guess
just
when you're living in
hits
that
you like
every
that.
day for
Ah,
every
the
hour,
humidity,
you start to get
it's
used
the
to it.
worst though. It's like you're not raining, but you still think you might be. It's like that kind of, and then like you're just,
No, it would just rain with no clouds in the
ugh.
skies over there, so
It's, and then it does rain sometimes when it's humid, and then it's just, you don't even want to go, like, outside is not even an option. Like, the mail can be checked tomorrow, kind of, it's bad, like that kind of stuff, where you think, oh my gosh, in my car is like a little big flashlight or something like that, and
yeah.
it might explode because of the humidity, heat, and I don't know.
Let's
All I
hope
have to
not.
say though, iOS 28 is coming, Quasi, which
Well,
is
actually,
gonna
iOS
be announced.
27 is coming, but iOS 28
Sorry.
is rumored to be more of it's going to be a more major like far more significant than iOS 27, right? We're seeing iOS 27, which is code named um what's the code name for 20? It's code named Bell. For no, that's iOS 2028. I can't read properly.
Yeah,
It doesn't have a code name.
yeah.
iOS
So,
2028 is something.
doesn't it make you just feel like that maybe they should put some of that effort into iOS 27 as well?
So if they make major adjustments every year, I can see that being a problem. Last year we got liquid glass, and it was a major. Actually, that wasn't even a major adjustment that got on my nerves. It was when they took away my launch pad on my Mac. I still haven't recovered from that. It's actually really bad. I hate it, and I hate it with every fiber of my being. Like I miss my launch
Yeah.
pad. Craig, I beg you. Craig,
Please,
please bring back my launch pad. I don't.
please.
I'm lost. I can't open any apps without it. Like I'm struggling. But yeah, if you make big
S-
adjustments every year, people are gonna start hating your product.
I would say that I'm just saying that, like, it's weird that this is such a marker thing to do. I will not tell you about iOS 27. What I will say though is iOS 28 though, way better.
Yeah, I
Like,
mean,
Mark,
they
how
have
about we
nothing
focus on the one that's
patched with
coming
it.
like in a
Yeah,
week or so, being announced? Like, how about we get something like that? I'm more focused on that because guess what, guys? Next podcast recording, okay, we're going to be talking about the dub release of iOS. And I'm excited, Quasi. You
this is
know,
true.
are you
He is
excited too?
excited.
You're closer than me to Apple Park. Did you go there yet? By the way.
I, dude, my air conditioning's out in the car. I will not be driving. I will not be going anywhere. Gas prices are $7 a gallon over here. I will be staying my butt inside
What
for
if
the
we like take
foreseeable
like an
future.
Uber or something?
Ooh, let me tell you something, Adam. You know there's a California fee on Uber here? Let me just open my Uber app
Oh
for you
no,
so
you're
you can.
not.
It's like an extra $4 surcharge before you even get anything. Right?
Would you say though it'd be worth taking an Uber rather than
No,
taking a
I would
vehicle with no
drive. I
AC
would drive. I would drive.
with no
1,000%.
AC?
1,000%. Do you know how expensive an Uber for 2 hours would be? Not just that, but with all the fees in the state, I just drive.
Well, what if you asked your father or mother to take you to Apple Park?
Well, my parents are currently overseas, and if you look behind me, hold on, let me
That
change my
might be a
camera.
little bit more difficult
If
to
you look
ask
behind
that
me,
question.
here's my dad's brand new Honda Odyssey. But you know what I saw today, Adam? I got a notification on my phone that this very Honda Odyssey behind me has a recall. And I can't wait to tell him. This 2026. This car that he just bought 3 months ago. Man, I just can't wait to tell him. I think it's gonna be so funny. Anyhow, um, all that to say, I have no clue what I was talking about. And
iOS
iOS
26, 27.
28, iOS
Yeah.
28 is supposed to be really major, while iOS 27 is supposed to be focusing on Siri and Apple Intelligence upgrades. Now,
Finally.
if this is all they're focusing on and they still mess it up, I was about to say I'm switching to Android, but that's the biggest lie I've ever told. That's just not happening. But I'll be sorely disappointed, severely.
Hey, Here's the thing. There's no way that they don't know of the issues with Siri and Apple Intelligence. They gotta know at this point, right?
Do you think
People
Tim
have
Cook
submitted their
ever like
feedback.
opens his phone and is like, "Hey Siri, do XYZ," and the Siri's like,
I think he
"Sorry."
does use that. But see, the difference is, if Siri doesn't listen to him, he can go to the Siri server and go, "Pop, do it." No, I think that they're just fully aware of it. But I think he does use it. I mean, I'll say this: I sent a text yesterday. It was to Quasi actually, and I said, "Hey Siri." Oh, I actually picked something
No, it was
up.
actually this morning.
No, this was yesterday. I sent this to you.
Oh, is it?
I sent one this morning too, but yesterday, and it was to text Quasi, and it actually did the entire process without a single flaw.
Oh, then it wasn't this morning.
This morning was a far different, more experience than that. This morning was, I said like 17 little phrases and got the entire thing wrong. I read it and it said the word hell in it. I'm like, I didn't say the word hell at all. I didn't even like that. There was nothing like that in there at all. I literally was just basically saying, "Hey, I'm on the way." So he knows I'm on the way to do record. And it said something like, it was so far off. Like it probably said something about a chicken sandwich in there and that grasshoppers aren't yellow, especially during the month of May. Like, I don't know what it said exactly.
Especially during the month.
It
So
just
here's
did
what got me,
not.
Adam. I haven't slept, for the you viewers, I haven't slept in about 2 days. So I was reading this text message. I was like, oh no, I'm not gonna be able to do this podcast today because I thought I was going crazy. I was like, what? What does this mean? No, and then I read the final message from Adam. Turns out Siri just can't pick up any words you're saying. I was like, oh, thank God.
It wasn't even close. Like,
Yeah,
the
no, it was
letters
bad.
of the word I wanted to say weren't even in the letters of the word I put out.
It was horrendous.
It was really bad. It wasn't even close.
Not even the slightest. And I don't even know what you were trying to say.
I was
still don't even know the
basically
gist of it.
saying that I had definitely seen you wake up because of a duck alarm and with plenty of time to record. And I don't know what the hell
is that why
said.
it told me to go to hell? Is that why Siri told me that I just shouldn't wake up ever again? Is that what's going on? Yeah. Craig, can we hop on this? John Turnus, can we
what was going on with it today?
Quickly.
This
could ruin people's relationships, you know?
I did remove the whole entire text because I'm like, I just can't. I can't even read the rest of this. So it said more than I even read because it was bad. So I said, I'm getting rid of this. He's going to probably quit the podcast this morning if he read that out loud. And it was bad. It was awful. I feel bad, Quace. I'm sorry. I'm sorry because Siri's dumb sometimes. I mean, most
but
of the time,
speaking of getting rid of things, did you know that the old Oura Ring is done for? It's completely got rid of. They got rid of it, Adam. And now they have a new one that's 40% smaller. It's genuinely an actual ring now, right? My biggest concern when I went to Best Buy to get the Oura Ring was it was a little bit thick, right? It's not a normal ring size, but I mean, what am I expecting? It's got a lot of technology in it. Somehow, they've made it so it was originally 6 millimeters thick or 6.09 millimeters thick. Now it is a razor thin 2.29 millimeters thick.
How do you even put stuff in that?
I don't know. I don't know, but guess what?
It
comes out. When does it come out? It comes out June 4th. And obviously you still need the monthly Oura membership, which is $5.99 a month or $70 a year. But for the silver and black rings,
do you have to have that
in order for the functionality to work? Otherwise, you're just buying a ring.
Well, I didn't.
Which is still pretty cool. So it's $400 for the silver and black, $500 for the gold. So, Adam, you're saying why? But healthcare in this country just isn't free. I don't know if you've heard of it. It's called the American healthcare system. Not great. Yeah,
this does some of that stuff without.
Yeah, some of it. That does some of that stuff.
What do you mean?
Dude, this thing has GLP-1 tracking, dude.
Okay, great. What the blood pressure stuff's coming to the next Apple Watch. It's probably
That's
some
that
words put
that's that
together.
new Ozempic, right? Everybody's taking Ozempic, and now
Yeah, hopefully
with
you're
your
stopping
watch, you
doing
can see
that.
how much weight you're training. Like this is
Hopefully you
kind of
stop
crazy.
taking that as soon as can possibly be.
Yeah,
You know,
Ozempic's
they're
probably
causing,
not the
like,
greatest for you.
cancer.
You know,
It's the one of the worst things for, like, you could drink lava, it's better for you than
I'm
Ozempic.
seeing people get like strikingly thin. I'm not saying don't be thin. If you want to be happy and being thin is gonna make you happy, go to the gym, right? There's, I mean, sure, Ozempic's fast, but do you want fast or do you want to look good, right?
You should not assume that something that is quickly making you reduce weight like that is good for you.
Yeah, I just can't fathom.
It's a process your body has to go through to make it happen, and usually it's
Well,
not fast. There's things that can help with it faster, but you don't wanna go from, like, let's say 250 pounds to 160 in, like, a week. Because if
that'd
you
be bad.
do, you
That would
know,
also
like,
be insane.
yeah, you
Your
don't
heart
want,
would
like,
start beating too, like it. So like
he
your heart pumps a certain amount of blood for all the stuff that you have in your body,
yeah,
and if you just to lose all that, I'm not a medical professional, by the way. Both of my
I'm not
parents are
either.
though, so I feel like I
Oh,
have some sort of credibility. Both of my parents are also currently overseas, so I could be saying stuff completely wrong. But I think the way GLP-1 works is that it just makes you feel fuller for longer, so that you don't eat as much, and people will report missing meals because they're not hungry and whatnot, and then because you're not eating, your body goes into a state of ketosis, and then when you're in ketosis, that's when you do all the rapid weight loss, right? So you can go into ketosis without GLP-1. Mr. Beast did it, right? And he lost like four. Now mind you, Mr. Beast is already, he's not the biggest guy in the world, right? So if you're a bigger guy, like if you're a Quasi build, you're near 300 pounds, this could work wonders for you. Just don't eat food, right? But don't be injecting yourself, guys. I don't know how healthy
yeah,
that is for
be
you.
smart about your health, and talk to professionals in the health sector too, because there's probably
Yeah, get
things
a
that we don't
doctor.
even you know, well, I won't say just doctor, but, like, nutritionists and some people like that too, because it's not just about, like, the health side, it's about what can you do overall for, like, intake of calories and what you're eating and what's the best balance for your diet and stuff like that, which is completely different per person, right? I mean, it depends on what you
Yeah,
have, as a whole for your health and what you might need and what you lack and what you are accessing and stuff like that. I mean, here's what I want a smart ring of some sort, right? I love my Apple Watch, but I want, like, more metrics and more data. And I thought about the Oura Ring for a long time, but there are some alternatives out there. And I guess I want to do my research. So here's the thing, audience. I want you guys' participation in this, and even Quasi too. So in Discord, um, or in the general channel, if you have a smart ring, you're like, this is great. I have this ring for this reason, whatever. Let me know what you guys think and what you guys use, because I'm really interested in getting one. And just, I don't want to get the wrong one and be disappointed, right? And I don't want to pay a subscription just to have a ring. And I know that it has features that are great. I'm not saying it's not the case. I'm just saying, like, I know there's ones out there that you just pay for the ring and, like, you get this without paying extra for it. So maybe this is the best option. Maybe something else is out there that's really nice too. Just let me know in the comments, because I just want to know what you guys think and have and can recommend, because, there's a lot out there now. And, we want to see what the best option is that's going to give me the best results for a good price.
this
And
is true.
Apple's making one too, guys. Don't forget that. It's happening. When? We don't know yet. They're still working on it. It's a lot of work to be done in a very small device. Probably their smallest device yet. Right? I mean,
I don't know.
the
They have an
pencil's pretty
iPod
small.
Nano.
I mean, the pencil's probably the only thing that's that small, but, like, longer, right?
Yeah, with
So
that much technology in it.
they're very close, but this is a different whole ball game for them, and we'll see how that works out.
Oh,
So
a little bit unrelated to what we were talking about. This isn't an ad or anything,
sure,
but your insurance might already be covering a nutritionist.
yes,
So just check that. Call your insurance, check that. Sometimes they also cover chiropractors and massages. That you could be paying for a lot in insurance that you're just not taking advantage of. So I would just recommend that you look into that.
massage is really. I've had that when I did it with the wife, and it was really good. Like, I don't know, it's. you didn't know you had issues until you go to massage. You know what I'm
And now
saying?
all you feel is the issues because you haven't gone back.
No, I'm not saying that they are causing the issues. I'm more saying, like, you might have a tight muscle here that you didn't really know you had, because it's not, like, super tight where it's, causing pain, strain, or, that your shoulders are like, "Man, now I feel like I'm loose or not so, tight or whatever," and just I don't know, a massage can soothe you too, and they always play that, like, calming, soothing, like, whatever, not jazz, but you know what I'm saying, like, Zen, they call it,
Yeah.
music with you're like, "Ooh, this is" like, all your problems, like, you could just experience bad traffic and bad driving people, like, out there, and you're like, I don't even care about that right now, you know? Maybe earlier this week, I dropped peanut butter on my pinky toe and broke it, but, that's not really taste is not important, you know? And that just helps, I think. So,
You
anyway,
know what?
though,
You know what is important, Adam?
what is that?
Let me start my story like this. This morning I was driving, right? And I was on my phone because it's 1 a.m., right? Nobody else is on the roads, right? So I'm scrolling TikTok, right? And then I come across this D-pad that comes out and you can adjust it a lot. I'm like, "Oh my goodness, this is really cool. It's on a handheld? Wait, this is that new Microsoft hand, that ROG Ally X20, right? Turns out the Ally X20 might be my next purchase, right? I already have my Xbox account, got a lot of games just sitting there, just waiting. They're begging me, Quasi, come back, Quasi.
Oh,
The new
man.
Xbox CEO's talking about, dude. I've been on my Xbox since getting back. It's not the same as my PS5. All right, I will admit, I'm missing the PlayStation a little bit. But man, I forgot I had some great times on this Xbox.
You're potentially so we're talking about the ROG OLED Xbox Ally X. That's the one you're
Yeah,
talking about, right?
yeah,
Okay. That is something I was not expecting. Like this is something that Quasi did not talk to me about at
yeah.
all
I
prior
mean,
to right now, by the way. Just so everybody knows that. Are you kidding me? This is
the
what's
the
bringing you
video
back.
sold me, right? Now, the original Ally X is going for $1,000. I don't know how much this was gonna go for. If it's anything over seven
I
hundred,
do.
they can keep it, right?
I know.
How much? How
So
much are we looking at?
well let's put this perspective first, just so everybody knows. You cannot buy this device currently when it comes out just that alone. You get
This is what I heard.
all
Yeah,
those glasses too, right?
yeah.
The
Sorry, I
bundle.
completely didn't tell anybody about the glasses.
Let's show them, Quasi. How about we show
Yeah,
them
so they
so
got
they
the
can see it?
actual glasses. Hold on, let's.
While he pulls that up, and then we're gonna pull up the second picture too, which is gonna show like the overall specs and stuff. It's like Apple's little thing about iOS what they're doing here. But yeah, this is the Xbox Ally X from Asus, right? And it's the OLED version, which I've said for years that was the one thing that lacked you need to get, and they're finally bringing that to this device. And what's very important to note is with now this, it's a complete package, right? It's a Windows handheld that gives you the Xbox overlay, the Asus ROG overlay, plus you have Windows, so you can play basically whatever you want. It can't play every game, no. Be very clear about that. It can play most games out there because of Windows interface. Now, I know I'll say this, that I prefer the SteamOS than I do Windows, but the limitation of that is you can't play all your games. So you're going to have some interesting ways to do this. I would probably use the ROG interface and the Xbox overlay more I would Windows side, but you can use that if you want to, right? Um, here's the price point though. $1,500 to $2,000. That is the elite
Yeah, they
price
got it.
for this unit. That is expensive. Quasi.
I
That is
think.
that is double what most other competitors are charging. Okay, I shouldn't say double. The Legion Go S or whatever it is went crazy in price too. Gaming, I said this before, gaming is no longer right now because of this chipset crap and everything, a hobby purchasable thing. It's getting really expensive to be a gamer. If you keep up with the latest gaming tech and accessories. This thing looks sick though. It really does. It
This
looks
is true.
fantastic. And I am all for the handheld gaming more than most things now, and I'm not opposed to having this as, like, the main thing. That's what Nintendo's doing right now, but I think they should still have physical bigger consoles too because not everybody's gonna wanna do this. But I, as a dad, love that you can bring us wherever you wanna go and play stuff and do stuff like that. Plus, you could dock in and use your TV and controller. I love that. That to me is fantastic experience. And this is a pretty chunky device in the sense of what it has for specs. I love that. 24 gigs of RAM. Oh, pull it quick. It's the next image down. Just if you can, click on that and you'll see.
This one?
Nope, you went past it.
This one?
Yep, right there. So just to give everybody an overall what's going on, 7.4-inch OLED. Great. Okay. It also has 24 gigs of DDR5 RAM. Really good. It's fantastic. The Ryzen A1 Z2 Extreme processor. Fantastic processor. 1 terabyte Gen 4 PCIe NVMe SSD. That's great. It's 2280, so you could upgrade that to, they say 2 terabytes, but I do think people have mentioned that you can go up to 8 terabytes if you really wanted to, just so you know. It'd be fantastic. And I do believe it has Hall effects controllers
Joysticks?
with it too.
No, it actually has
Joysticks.
TMR, which
that
is better. Yeah.
Oh,
So
really?
basically, with Hall effect, so both Hall effect and TMR are magnetic, which means they don't get stick drift, right? But analog sticks
Oh,
typically
it
have
does sit
faster
right there.
inputs.
Yeah.
Analog sticks
Yep.
typically have faster inputs than Hall effect, but TMR is the best of both worlds.
Oh, so even better.
Not that you're like if you're not like a sweat gamer, you're not gonna tell the difference between Hall effect and a regular joystick. Like if you're just playing a casual game, it doesn't matter that much. But the fact that this has TMR sticks is absolutely awesome. And I haven't had any TMR sticks, and I think that'd be really cool to have.
I have 2 questions for you, Quasi. I want to know your answers to these. So the first question is, why does this device bring you back to the Xbox world and Windows side?
Well,
And 2, wait, hold up. I can get you both at the same time. 2, if you do get this device, which I hope you do, would you be playing it mostly in the native state of handheld or in a dock state with a controller?
I think for me right now, the thing that's really grabbing my attention is all the actual tech in this piece of hardware, right? It's got this really cool transforming D-pad, right? That's kind of reminiscent of the design of the Xbox Elite Series 2 controller, right? And then it's come with new TMR sticks. TMR is not that old of a technology. It's relatively new. The specs are honestly kind of up there with being better than the regular Xbox.
Oh, it's way better.
It's a lot of stuff. You know, I came home, right? I started playing Forza. Right? I don't know if Forza's on PlayStation, to be quite honest with you. I'm not gonna buy it again if it is, right? But I started playing some of my games. I was having a wonderful time, and I was like, oh, I really used to be an Xbox player. Now it just sits here collecting dust. And you know, I kind
So
of,
you were playing Xbox, right?
yeah,
Are you gonna bring that back with you when you come back?
absolutely not.
Why?
It's bulky and it will not fit in the suitcase.
Could you ship it?
Can I ship it? No, my siblings also play on it. You know, I don't have a
Okay.
use for it because, you know, ooh, complete switch really quick. Did you know that PlayStation had their state of play yesterday?
I heard about
Did
it.
you see
Yep.
any of that? Hey, did you know
Mm.
that? Did you see the trailer for the Wolverine game?
I saw parts of it.
When you get a chance, go watch that extended trailer. Also, there's a new God of War game. All right, can't wait. I haven't played any God of
You,
War yet, but I can't wait.
you know what sucks about those 2 games?
They're exclusives. All right, and so is Marvel Token Fighting Souls.
Why does Sony have the audacity to do such a thing when they brought their games to Steam?
Hey,
It was
pal.
a great.
Hey,
No,
pal,
it's a
you
great
guys are doing
process.
the same thing. It's not Gran Turismo. It's some racing game that is available right now on Xbox, but we don't have. I can't remember which one it is, but it's
No,
one
no,
of
no,
them.
no, no. I'm not talking about PS5 to Xbox difference. I'm talking about the games that Sony released also came on Steam. Now, months later, or like a year or two later, whatever it was, right? They did, which kind of sucked, but we got at least to play it. And they made them deck verified. And now you're just going to completely say only PS5 you can play these games. Well, enjoy less
That's rough
sales.
for not having a PS5. No, they're still gonna get my money.
No, and enjoy less sales because
I just don't think they're enjoying less sales.
everybody on Steam just can't buy it. So
that's really
you
unfortunate.
have less sales. Yeah, this sucks for them. Yeah, what a crazy thing to do.
Yeah, I mean,
Stupid thing to do.
I don't
Stop
think
being
anybody
full
on
of
the PlayStation
yourselves.
High
Release it on Steam and release it on PS5. That goes for every other console too. And
I just
like,
can't
okay,
fathom any of my people being upset about that. Since we have the console that these games play on, I just can't fathom it.
Your people? Oh, classification of people, huh? That's what you're doing. Oh, okay.
Yes.
What are you trying to say that you're the elite people that get this?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
We're not.
Well, my
we don't
people
play
are
with
humble,
the peasant
Quasi.
box.
My people know that we could have in the past got the games on Steam later, and we were okay with that. And we play it, and we also gave games from Xbox over to everybody else too.
Hey,
so
I can't play Halo on my PlayStation.
The new Halo that's coming out, you can.
Yeah, but I can't play any of the old ones. I just thought you should know that.
Well, that's also because the other ones were licensed for Xbox, so they can't really bring it over if they wanted to.
Huh. But PlayStation should be forced to bring theirs over? Very interesting. Anywho, that topic's not on our show list today.
Anyway, okay, so this device, I do want it. I have a Steam Deck. I love my Steam Deck. I want this too. I really do, but it's super expensive. I mean, quite a bit
that
expensive.
is like
that's a lot.
That's 2 kidneys.
My wife would be unhappy if I bought this.
I thought you were going to tell me that your wife was going to give up her kidney. I was like, okay.
The chances of my wife getting vacation so I could buy this is like negative 4,000%.
You should just tell her that she doesn't love you then. That's what
that's...
Dude, I promise you, if the roles were reversed, that's what she would say. I promise you. Anyhow.
Maybe, but I can't get away with that. No, I would love to have this. Am I saying I hate my Steam Deck? That's not what I'm saying. I love my Steam Deck and I'll always keep the Steam Decks for forever.
It's really hard to hate a Steam Deck.
There's no Deck 2 yet, because they're trying to make it amazing. And when they do come out with it, it's going to be fantastic. But I kind of want to have this too, because here's the thing, Quasi. Let's not forget about this. You can get this and also it can be your computer. You put it on a dock, keyboard, mouse it up, and it can a monitor or two. Dude, you have a full-blown computer too. Let's not forget that. That's the cool thing about this too. But then it's your handheld gaming device that you can play it's not so bad anymore. That's super cool. It's expensive though. So let us know in the comments below what you think about this. Are you going to get this? Or are you not going to get this? And let us know.
Indeed.
Okay.
Anyhow, we saw the insane success of the MacBook Neo, right? Now we're seeing some companies want to get in on that success. So Dell just dropped a new XPS 13, which they didn't explicitly say was challenging the MacBook Neo, but it came around the time the MacBook Neo was released for the same price. With
tell them.
I gotta let you know, it does have an OLED display and 17-hour battery life.
2.2 pounds.
Yeah, it's really light.
I was like, you can cut some carrots with that thing, Yeah. Man.
I don't think that it's gonna be bad, right? I think at the $599 price, you can't ask for a lot out of any computer these days, because $599 is 2 sticks of RAM. You know what I mean? So
Or one, today's society.
yeah, it's rough, but this one has a Intel Core Series 3, or is it the Ultra Series 3 Panther Lake processor? It's one of the two. Um, I'll get back to you guys on that. But yeah, I mean, it has a dynamic refresh rate that scales between 30 and 120 hertz. That's a lot better than the 60 hertz refresh rate you get on the MacBook Neo. In terms of how well it will fit in your Apple ecosystem, though, this is not the computer for you. I would not
No.
recommend it.
It does have 512 storage for that base price.
No. The base price is $256, and then
The base configuration ships with 512 PCIe 4 with 8 gigs of RAM.
really,
Where did you see it otherwise?
hold on, let me find another source because this one could be wrong.
Because you can upgrade to a 32 gig of RAM with 1 terabyte.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe if I could find the exact link to the product,
Well, you can't
that'd
because it's
be
not on Dell's site yet. And Dell's own site does not mention specifically what the base storage is at all, which it really should at this point. I
yeah.
wish they just did.
Well, basically, it's targeting the same people the MacBook Neo is targeting: students who are going into business, going into finance, going into anything that doesn't require super heavy loads. But if you are planning on going into like video editing, I would not recommend the Dell XPS, and I would recommend a MacBook Air, not a MacBook Neo. But the MacBook Neo could luckily get it done. You're just gonna have to be a little bit patient with it.
Pretty nice
Uh,
little device, and
yeah,
I love Dell as a company in general, so it's quite wonderful to see that this is going to be a thing. Um, I just really wish it would give you more information about it. Besides, you know, spec sheet. Here's a
get
spec
that.
sheet right on their side that you just cannot open at all.
Yeah, I mean, it just doesn't open. So moving forward, hey, you know what I heard? I was on YouTube, right? And because YouTube is where the majority of my screen time comes from, right? I have 10 hours a day, and 7 of them are on YouTube, right? Um, so basically, I was watching the Infographics show. Shout out to the Infographics show. I don't know if you ever heard of them, if you ever watched them, but they came out with a new video, something. You don't own this, you don't own your digital games. And I was like, who doesn't own their digital games? Not me, right? So I went to watch the video, and apparently, it's not Google Stadia. It's Amazon's. What was it, Luna?
Luna,
Amazon
yeah.
Luna basically just up and went, and they said, hey, if you purchase the game, sucks to be you. We're not going to reimburse you, and we're taking it off this platform. And that they transitioned into a lawsuit that's going on, and basically they're saying once you buy a game, you should own it, right? Amazon, of course, argued that no, you're just getting the license to use that product. First and foremost, if I was to buy Minecraft today, right, and I didn't buy the physical version, I bought it online, I'm not assuming that I'm buying a license to play Minecraft. I'm assuming that I'm buying Minecraft, you know? You know? And I just think that the I really can't see any gamers being against this, because it's like, okay, you just put down $70, right? Why would you not want that $70 to stay? Like, I think the real issue is Amazon's not reimbursing anybody, and they're getting rid of full game libraries on Luna. Not great. Not great at all.
It's
So,
terrible.
no, it's more than
I
terrible.
hate it.
Hey, if
It's
this happens to me, I will be switching from whatever platform does this. You will no longer have my business. Amazon, Jeff, I'm looking at you, bro. Lock in, Jeff.
Yeah. Well, the also a game developer can just, as they see fit, revoke your license to be able to play a game ever again and
Yeah,
not
that's
get your
not
money
good
back.
either. And so that's where this lawsuit is right now. And the state of California has this lawsuit out against, I don't even know who it's against right now. This one is against,
It
no,
was
this is
against
a
Epic.
bill. This is a bill. Bill AB 1921 proposes new conditions to commercial games being sundowned. For one, publishers must give players a 60-day warning before ending a game service, wiping out the potential for future Concord disasters. Now, if you don't know what Concord is a game that was released, right? And then it did so bad that Sony just completely scrapped it off the Play Store, right? And I'm pretty sure they reimburse people. And if you bought it physically, you got reimbursed and whatnot. But wow, they just hated that game. It
Anthem,
performed so poorly. It was horrendous.
Destiny 2, another game that's getting shut down basically. Well,
Okay,
you can
but
still
it's
play
not
it, but
getting
they're not going to do
sundown.
anything.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they're just turning off the
Anthem,
servers.
though, Anthem for sure is like, it's gone. Not supposed to be a really good game, but
That's unfortunate.
yeah. Yeah, like, okay, here's an idea. If you make a game that's like a, PvP kind of thing or whatever, how about make the game so if the servers go down, you could play versus bots in the game, like you versus AI bots. You could at least do that at least. Like they had a mode in Call of Duty that did this a long time ago, and it was great. So you could do like new town, all these other like maps, and do some practice or do whatever for strategy and enhancements and stuff. And they just killed the idea. So like I just kind of want to see that happen again in games because maybe I don't want to play versus people right now. I want to play versus bots to get my game up better or whatever, right? And I don't know. That's just me, I guess. But I also think here should be the requirement. If I purchased a game, now if it happened right off the bat or really later, that's a little different. If I bought a game, I should be able to play a game whenever I want to forever. Like if there's a campaign, whatever, I should be able to do that. If you get rid of multiplayer, okay, that part's off. But the fact that, that game that you can't even go into because of a stupid launch or whatever, right? That needs to stop. And if you do make that game no longer playable, I should get my money back really at any point. That should be how it is. Get rid of launchers. Zero people like launchers. I hate them. They're terrible. Stop making me log into a stupid game to play it. I hate that. My account with whatever platform I'm on should be what I use to get into the game. Right, and my license is activated to play a game, I get to enter, I get to play it. Stop making me log into a stupid launcher. I cannot stand that. I hate it. Rockstar does it constantly. You log into a launcher, and you think that's all you gotta do. Oh no, log into it again at some random time. I hate that. Stop that. But this needs to stop. I think we need to get to a state where this can't happen anyway at all. You bought a PS2 game back in the day. Guess what? I can go right now to a PS2 console, put that disc in, I'm ready to go. Right? It wasn't an issue like it is now. If it's already downloaded on my device, let me play it more. That's how you need to do that. Any more closing remarks to this, Quasey? Oh, this guy is Roger. Oh, yeah, you said it earlier. That's what I thought I missed. But then you said EA. Yeah. Yeah, and they kind of really make a lot of money off that. Is it because, like, really what they do with the game is slightly enhance the graphics slightly, but it's also the basically the changes of the teams, right? Like, would you rather see a new game? Would you rather see a new game being made or like a Madden NFL and then there's DLC every year? Go ahead, Kwesi. I'll have you start. Nice. They are. They are. So my product of the week is the Mighty Bar LT, and it's by Gear Spool. And I just want to let you know, I actually have it. It's right here. You're probably asking, what on earth do you need this for? Why do you have it? Um, as a tech guy, there's certain occasions when I need to get into a small space to like take off something. Like it could be a graphics card that's a little bit longer than the actual PCI slot. Then I get to get that one little clip that just, it's hard to get to with your fingers. I can get to with this. Or heaven forbid, with the network cable, the little stupid cover right above the clip gets hard because it's been there for 22 and a half years. You can't push it down. Well, this thing just go right underneath it and just pop it out, right? Or I have to price something else, or open up packages with Amazon or various other things too, and I get adhesive on an actual knife or a blade. This is not too sharp, but sharp enough to cut boxes and get things opened up. And it's titanium. I can't bend this if I wanted to. It's huge, it's lovely in a lot of different ways. It's not too big either, and I really like it quite a bit. And this clip, I cannot even, you know, do that with like, the clip at all. It's great, goes in your pants. And I think everybody should have this because it's so useful for a lot of different things. You can even use, like, the very tip of it for, like, a flathead, screw if you really need to as well. Um, so that's a My Bar LT. I think it's a fantastic purchase. Everybody should have this. It's useful for a lot of different things, and it's EDC, so you can carry it every day, not just, Monday through Thursday, even Friday. So I love that a lot. It's fantastic. And my app of the week, and I had to just figure out how to use it quite yet, but essentially it is called Next There. It is a smart travel assistant. So when you're going to specific locations in your town or area, let's say you're not from the area at all, like let's say you go to California or Sacramento or whatever, right? That you can see more information about your trip that you ever could before. So you could see like live traffic alerts. You could see interesting things about what might be on the road, or it could be construction happening here. It could be different routes for trains. It's like an enhanced like maps kind of thing that you can use for trips. And I think overall, this is useful for people that are going to be on vacation, for instance, and different kind of occasions because it's quite nice to have. And I just wanted to also extend its sake use this for trains, trams, ferries, and buses as well, which makes it very nice just for a travel assistant to make your travel experience a little bit easier and more informative. So that's my app of the week. So yeah, lots of off topicness. Yeah, yeah, and it's developing it day of. Are you gonna put it on your everyday carry phone? You are, okay. Like the very first user base has lots. Yeah. And they always say don't put this on your primary device because it could have a lot of issues. It doesn't exist. It's 2 and 6. You are a liar. 6? Okay, okay. Hey, but that's fine. I love iCloud backup. So great. So great. Well, do it the day of too. I mean, that's fine to do it now, but absolutely. Oh, what a great episode. I love this. So fun. Yes, absolutely. I do. We want this to perform well too. Hey, the comments show though that our off topicness, which is not a phrase, but it is now, um, people like that in our podcast, which is probably why we do it more and more. People in comments on short form. Okay. Okay. Well, that's crazy for you. Well, anyway, thanks again for thanks for tuning in. Really appreciate it. We'll see you next week. It's gonna be dub season, and we are gonna talk about just very that. We're gonna have a lot less topics about other things. It's just dub for sure. So, okay, guys, have a fantastic week. We'll see you next week. Bye.